In modern energy hygiene, there is a dangerous, fragile line between protecting your life and completely freezing your progress. Most people walk into the spiritual marketplace looking for a simple, cheap, energetic shield. They buy popular black stones like tourmaline or obsidian, wrap themselves in an invisible concrete wall of defensive intentions, and then wonder why their finances dry up, their professional networks vanish, and their life turns into a silent, isolated desert. They built a firewall that keeps out the virus, but completely blocks the incoming corporate traffic. But today, we are going to look at a completely different technology, a technology that doesn't build walls, but alters the very frequency of your environment. To understand how this functions under the hood, let us look at two completely different case studies from my private practice that unfolded during the exact same winter. The first case involved a 42-year-old senior financial director in London. She was trapped in a highly toxic corporate environment, working under a predatory executive who systematically drained her focus, gaslit her decisions, and caused her constant physical and nervous exhaustion. She couldn't sleep, her skin was grey, and she felt like a battery being slowly emptied. The second case, occurring at the exact same time, involved a 38-year-old software architect in Amsterdam. His problem wasn't toxic energy, it was a brutal, invisible ceiling. No matter how many high-level enterprise contracts he pitched, his income remained stuck at the exact same digital threshold for 3 straight years. He was operating in a state of permanent mental fatigue, unable to see the structural patterns that were keeping him trapped in a loop of mid-tier execution. Both of these individuals came to me looking for an architectural intervention, and both of them received the exact same mineral framework, Labradorite, but the specific operational protocols, the color frequencies, and the physical placement on their bodies were completely opposite. Within 4 months, the London director systematically dismantled her toxic manager's influence, forcing his relocation, while the Amsterdam architect broke through his financial threshold, securing a partnership in a major infrastructure firm. Welcome back to the Esoteric Architect. This is Alex. If you are new to this broadcast, let us establish our ground rules right now. We do not deal in pop culture illusions, cheap magical talismans, or new age sentimentality. We treat the unseen currents of nature and the human nervous system as an integrated engineering problem. If you value deep, independent, structured knowledge that looks under the hood of reality, take a moment right now to subscribe to esoteric.architect and turn on your notifications. The insights we uncover today are designed to interlock with our previous breakdowns on Moldavite and ancient symbolic systems. If you haven't watched those broadcasts yet, your foundation is incomplete. Stay with me today and then go back to study the complete sequence. Let us perform a strict structural autopsy on this mineral. To the untrained eye, Labradorite looks like a dull, dark, uninspiring piece of grey feldspar rock. If you find it lying on a shelf in its raw, unpolished state, you might pass it by without a second thought. But the moment you turn it toward the light, a spectacular optical phenomenon occurs, labradorescence. The stone instantly ignites with deep, metallic flashes of neon blue, electric green, burning gold, copper orange, and rare violet. This is not a surface reflection. This is a complex internal interference pattern occurring within the microscopic, alternating layers of the mineral's crystalline grid. It is literal proof that dark, dense, unyielding reality can hold a multi-layered spectrum of hidden light. In mainstream crystal healing, people treat labradorite as a single general tool. This is a critical operational error. The specific color flash that dominates your stone dictates its exact resonant frequency, F spectral. If you deploy the wrong color variant for your specific life dilemma, you will misalign your entire internal wiring. Let us break down the multi-frequency spectrum of labradorite with absolute precision. First, let us analyze the deep neon blue and electric cyan flash. This is the frequency of absolute mental sovereignty and information filtering. The blue spectrum resonates directly with the upper neurological centers, your throat chakra and the third eye matrix. It acts as a cold, high-velocity filter for incoming telepathic and emotional noise. If your stone flashes with pure blue, it is designed to sharpen your conscious focus, silence background mental chatter, and stop you from absorbing the subtle emotional manipulation of the people around you. It is the color of the detached observer. Second, we step into the emerald green and lime green flash. This is the frequency of rapid structural transformation and physical field repair. Green is the color of growth, but in the realm of Labradorite, it acts as a cellular stabilizer. It takes the fragmented, leaking edges of your aura, the tears left behind by old psychological trauma, corporate burnout, and toxic relationships, and literally seals them, like liquid polymer. It restores your physical vitality and allows your nervous system to rest, even when you are standing in the middle of a chaotic, high-stress environment. Third, let us look at the golden yellow, copper orange, and fire red spectrum. This is an incredibly aggressive, high-voltage energy. It is often found in a rare, premium variety of the stone known as Spectrolite, mined primarily in Finland. This spectrum does not focus on passive defense. It resonates with your solar plexus and your root centers. It is the frequency of the breakthrough. It triggers raw willpower, strategic ambition, and the sudden activation of your personal authority. It acts as an internal combustion engine, burning through stagnation, self-doubt, and the invisible mental blocks that prevent you from taking high-level risks in business and wealth creation. Finally, there is the rainbow or purple-violet flash. This is the rarest and most complex architecture available. It combines all frequencies simultaneously. It is the key to the opening of paths. This spectrum operates on the boundary line of the quantum field, helping your subconscious mind recognize hidden patterns, predict market shifts, and read the subtle warning signs in human behavior before they manifest in physical reality. Let us return to our two case studies to see how these different color architectures function in real-world environments. Look at the London financial director. Her problem was intense, focused external hostility. Her executive manager was a corporate predator, a classic emotional vampire who fed on the anxiety and submissiveness of his subordinates. Every morning, she walked into his office for strategic briefings, and within 30 minutes, her brain would freeze, her heart rate would spike, and she would agree to unfeasible deadlines that ruined her team's efficiency. Her personal energy field had become completely porous. She was literally digesting his toxic psychological waste. For her protocol, I selected a heavy, unpolished slab of pure deep blue and green labradorite. I instructed her to place this slab directly on her corporate desk, positioned exactly between her physical body and the doorway where her manager entered. The mechanics here are pure physics. When her manager walked into her space, projecting a heavy wave of aggressive, manipulative emotional voltage, that wave didn't hit her nervous system first. It hit the resonant field of the labradorite. The blue internal crystalline grid of the stone absorbed the incoming emotional static, filtering out the manipulative intent, while the green frequency reinforced her own physical boundary. Within 2 weeks, she noticed a spectacular shift. When he started his usual gaslighting monologues, she felt absolutely nothing. No panic, no heartbeat spike, just cold, analytical clarity. Because she remained perfectly calm, his tactics failed. Her detached authority caught the attention of the board of directors, and within 3 months, she was promoted, while her toxic supervisor was quietly lateralized to an overseas division. Now, let us contrast this with the software architect from Amsterdam. His system wasn't under attack. He wasn't weak. He was simply stuck in an energetic loop. He was generating brilliant infrastructure solutions, but whenever he pitched to high-level investors, he spoke from a place of subtle, hidden insecurity. His personal field lacked the dense, authoritative mass required to command multi-million-dollar transactions. He was invisible to the big players. For his protocol, we utilized a highly polished, palm-sized piece of spectrolite, flashing with intense copper gold and fire red energy. His instruction was entirely different. He was to carry this stone in his right trouser pocket during every pitch and hold it firmly in his hand during his morning deep focus sessions. The golden red spectrum immediately began overhauling his solar plexus, the engine of personal power and manifestation. It systematically burned away his hidden corporate imposter syndrome. When he entered the boardroom 4 weeks later to pitch a massive cloud architecture project, his voice had dropped to a steady, heavy resonance. He didn't plead for the contract, he stated his terms like a sovereign authority. The investors didn't just buy his software, they bought his presence. He broke his 3-year financial deadlock, securing a 20% equity partnership in the firm. You must understand that a mineral is not a passive ornament. It is a piece of biological hardware, and just like any hardware, its performance depends entirely on where it is plugged into the system. You cannot just throw a piece of Labradorite into your leather bag and expect it to rewrite your destiny. You must understand the geometry of the human body. Let us look at how to place this stone depending on your specific strategic objectives. If your primary goal is absolute defense and energy hygiene, if you work in an open-plan office surrounded by gossiping colleagues, toxic managers, or emotionally unstable clients, you must wear Labradorite as a heavy pendant hanging directly over your thymus gland, right in the center of your chest, between your throat and your heart. This area is the primary energetic shield of your emotional body. When the stone rests here, it acts as a spectral firewall, neutralizing incoming emotional manipulation before it can penetrate your deep nervous system. If your goal is strategic vision, clear intellect, and breaking through mental fog, you must use Labradorite during your morning focus sessions. Place a polished blue flash stone directly on your desk or hold it against your forehead, the third eye matrix, for exactly 5 minutes before you log into your workstation. This opens up your spatial processing, allowing you to see the hidden patterns in complex data, analyze market movements with cold accuracy, and spot the logical flaws in your competitors' strategies before they even realize they've made them. But if your goal is the breakthrough, opening paths and attracting wealth, you must align the stone with your active, expressive side. If you are right-handed, you must wear a Labradorite ring with a strong golden or multicolor flash on your right index finger or right thumb. The index finger is the vector of your will. It is how you direct command, authority, and intention into the external world. When you sign contracts, shake hands with venture capitalists, or point to a strategic chart with a Labradorite ring on that finger, you are projecting an augmented, high-voltage field of personal authority directly into the transaction. To unlock the true capacity of Labradorite, you cannot treat it like a static rock. You must actively program its crystalline grid through a disciplined, focused meditation protocol. This is how you synchronize your nervous system with the mineral's frequency. Find a quiet room, ensure your environment is clean, and turn off all digital distractions. Sit upright, plant your feet firmly on the solid floor to ground your physical body, and hold your piece of Labradorite in both palms. Close your eyes. Take 3 deep, measured breaths, inhaling cold air into your lower abdomen and exhaling all accumulated corporate stress, mental clutter, and fatigue out into the earth. Now, look at the stone in your mind's eye. Visualize its dark, gray, solid exterior, and then see the hidden neon light flashing deep within its structural layers. Realize that your own consciousness is built exactly like this stone. No matter how heavy, dull, or exhausted your current material reality feels, your inner core holds a magnificent, multi-layered spectrum of absolute power and infinite paths. Direct your conscious will down into your palms, straight into the crystal lattice of the stone. If you are using a blue stone, speak your command clearly in your mind. Filter all external noise. Maintain absolute mental sovereignty. If you are using a gold-red spectrolite, command it. Burn through all hesitation. Direct my path to absolute execution. Hold this visualization for 7 minutes. Feel the temperature of the stone rise in your palms. This is physical proof of energetic exchange. When you open your eyes, do not slip back into emotional reactivity. Carry that cold, polished clarity straight into your real-world tasks. Labradorite is not a magical fairy tale. It is an exquisite, high-level instrument of energetic physics and structural alignment. It is designed for those who refuse to hide behind passive defensive walls, choosing instead to actively filter their environment, project their personal authority, and break through every glass ceiling that society tries to build around them. But remember, Your journey with Esoteric.architect is a continuous, integrated evolution. You cannot fully master the protective shield of Labradorite if your environment is still leaking energy through open tarot loops, or if your nervous system is short-circuiting from ungrounded Moldavite surges. Every broadcast on this channel is a specific stone in the foundation of your personal power. If you haven't done so yet, hit the subscribe button right now, leave your like, and share this audio broadcast with an independent thinker who values real, down-to-earth mastery. Now, I want to hear your feedback in the comments below. Look at your own life right now. What frequency do you need to deploy? Do you need the cold blue filter to survive a toxic office, or do you need the burning gold Spectrolite to shatter your current financial ceiling? Drop your current situation below. I read every single observation, and we will analyze your structural setups in our upcoming broadcasts. Stay grounded, keep your boundary lines clean, and I will see you in the next architectural breakdown.